Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing the Breitling Montbrillant Datora, a watch named after the historic Rue Montbrillant, where Breitling was located during its long history in the town of La Chaux-de-Fonds. In many ways, the Montbrillant series is sort of an upscale Navitimer, channeling a lot of what was great and remains great about the most famous Breitling chronograph of all time, but also adding a luxe edge. And that luxurious edge here includes rose gold complications and a 500-piece limited edition. So the watch is 43 millimeters in diameter in rose gold, 14.3 millimeters thick, 50.7 from lug to lug tip, with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and it's big. There's no doubt about that. It's not huge, though. 50.7 lug-to-lug does fit my wrist, though I think that if your wrist is any smaller than mine, you'll want to look for a smaller Navitimer. But 16 centimeters circumference and up, game on. You can see in profile, it's not particularly thin. It will fit underneath jacket cuffs, just with its unique peanut butter cup-like shape. It probably will get hung up on the tightest of dress sleeves. The strap is very substantial, and that's often the case with Breitling pilots' watches. Where you would expect to find calfskin, you find alligator leather instead, which is more expensive and more durable. You can see these are large rectangular symmetrical scales. This is an expensive cut of the Beast gloss finish. We have sheer cut edges that are lacquered for refinement, quite a bit of stuffing, or bolstering as it's known, and an aviator-style contrasting stitch. Note the absence of any perforations on this Breitling factory strap. You can see calfskin on the bottom. The way the clasp works, it's folding clasp, it's friction fit. You actually tuck the extra length in through, you crimp it using this little loop down here, and when you close it all up, the excess length hides underneath the clasp and the strap for a very clean look, and it does away with the need for minder loops, so you don't need any of these. Those minder loops fall apart quickly, so this strap, with the absence of perforations to get gouged and minder loops to get gross, should last a very long time. So the watch is all rose gold, and you can see it's got a distinctive Navitimer case shape with a relatively thin case band, although the case back is stepped in a little bit. We've got long, angular, lightly beveled, squared-off lugs, and you can see that the lugs ride up the side of the bezel just a little bit. It's a styling trick that designers use to avoid cropping the lugs or creating a watch that's too thick. Now, we do have pusher correctors for the calendar functions, though some of them can be quickset. The watch features hacking seconds, as well as a quickset function. It uses a Valjoux 7751 base, and you can see how I'm able to adjust the date as well as the month using the quickset. The adjuster is for the day. The watch also features a chronograph and a 24-hour hand. Let me be clear, this 24-hour hand, that is a 24-hour hand. It is not an independently settable second time zone. So it's really there to let you know whether you're looking at 10 at night or 10 in the morning, and you can see quite clearly we were rolling through midnight. That was 10 at night. So that's what that little subdial is. It also features the running small seconds hand. We'll wind this up and fire up the chronograph functions. The Navitimer, which lends most of its design to this watch, this is part of the extended Navitimer universe, but the Navitimer debuted back in the 1950s. Breitling says 1952. Some authorities say 54 or 55, but it was designed for aviators, and it was sold through the American Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, AOPA, early on. It was a special that you could buy through their catalog. Now, the bezel was designed to be an upgrade of the Chronomat bezel from the 1940s. The Chronomat was a circular slide rule. The Navitimer was a more complete circular slide rule with the calibrations you would need, like nautical statute miles, kilometers per hour, things that would allow you to calculate drift, ground speed, airspeed, rate of climb, rate of fuel consumption. And so the idea was that this was a comprehensive flight computer. Fun fact, they still train military aviators with the circular slide rule. As soon as they get to the fleet, they use computers, but they do train to use the slide rule. And it's very simple to use. Let's say I want to divide 70 by 2. All I do is I take 70 and I move 70 until it is over 2. So it works like this. It works like a fraction. See 2 on the inner scale? You got to keep your decimals in mind. That could very easily become 70 divided by 20 if you're not paying attention. You set it up like a fraction. Number to be divided over the number dividing it. 70 divided by 2, you go to the index, which is this little red 10. 70 divided by 2 is 35, and it's very simple. Let's say you want to multiply 4 by 2. Well, 4 by 2, let's go back to the inner scale. You put the number to be multiplied over the index, and then you look at the number you're multiplying it by. 40 multiplied by 2 is 80. There you go. That's how that works. Very simple. The bezel is sharply knurled and easy to grip. The dial has gold-plated hands as well as indices. We'll do a loom shot now. So we have the triple calendar. We have the AM/PM indicator, which is effectively what that 24-hour dial is. And then we have these distinctive kite-style hands at center for the hours and the minutes. If you look carefully, you can see there's a scale in red calibrated to 100 at the center. That's called a decimeter scale. For certain technical applications, it was once considered desirable. It's rarely used today, but if you want to know what that is a decimeter scale. So 7751 is a Valjoux 7750 that has a triple calendar. And so that's what we've got in here. You can see 500 pieces, rose gold. The movement is a certified Swiss chronometer. Unidirectional winding, 42-hour power reserve, 25 joules, quick set hacking, 4 hertz beat rate, 5 position adjustment. It's a very elite version of the 7750 architecture. And of course, being a 7750, it has a combination of a cam function cycler and then an oscillating pinion clutch. Oscillating pinion is a type of lateral clutch that has very little play, so more often than not when you start it up, there's no jump or stagger. It can engage almost as smoothly as a vertical clutch system. Oscillating pinions are common on 7750s, but rare elsewhere, and they're making a comeback these days on high-end watches from Journe, Richard Mille, and De Bethune. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, so don't go swimming with it. It is an air sports watch. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.